All right, cool. So welcome back here. What we have today is we are going to go over the motivation and probably the agent, and we're just going to stop there and then we're going to put it all together. Yesterday we went over the location and the price. Jeff, have we uploaded that to the YouTube channel? Do you want to kind of tell everyone where they can get that?
Yeah, they can look at Cityside Properties Group on YouTube. I'll share the link in the chat. And then I need to upload that. I try to do it from my phone. It wouldn't let me do it, but I'm going to do it from my computer. Then we'll try to upload each session so you guys can take a look at it and things like that.
Perfect. Well, cool. So motivation. This is going to be probably the top step that we're going to do. Mortgage is the most difficult to get through, but you want to find out quite a bit of motivation. Tasha, I'm going to mute you, and then of course you can unmute yourself if you have any questions or anything there at the end. So the reason why this is so important is because sometimes you'll find a buyer or even possibly a seller that you've been showing properties for so long. Maybe you've showed 15, 20, 25 homes. Maybe they're just kind of not interested. Maybe the seller keeps on saying that, hey, they're painting, or they're trying to do this, they're trying to get the house ready, and 3 months go by. So the motivation is really the reason why they're moving. So the reason why they're purchasing that house, the reason why that they're selling their house, how soon they need to get there, how soon the person needs to purchase a house. So it's very easy, really. You just kind of get their motivation for moving. It could be the job, it could be the kids trying to get in the specific school district, any of that information. And of course, you kind of build on it. So if they're moving in there for a job, you would then ask them, oh, well, where are you going to start working at, or transfer? You start that conversation. Those little things that you do will help you just kind of mesh better with the buyer or the seller, and kind of build rapport. And because the more rapport you build, the more they're going to remember you. And then of course, they're more the likelihood they're going to actually use you as their agent. So same thing with kids. They talk about they're moving for school. You immediately say, oh, how many kids do you have? How old are they? Oh, that's awesome. Start meshing with them, maybe sports and things. Write that stuff down, because the next time you call them, maybe in 2 or 3 days, maybe their child had something, football practice, cheerleading, dance, or something, and you can actually mention that. And I guarantee you, just subconsciously, whenever you bring that up, they immediately start thinking this guy actually is paying attention. And he also, it's more than just him looking for a paycheck. He actually invested and interested into what I have going on as well. And it pretty much will solidify you as their agent. So those are the types of things that you're going to want to try to do during the conversation. Besides that, you actually go into if they're currently own or renting their house or apartment or whatever that might be. Of course, the reason we want to ask this question is because if somebody's renting currently and they're still in a lease and their lease isn't up for 8 months, you have to ask them those questions on, well, are you in a position to, if you actually find the right house right now, you would be willing and able to go ahead and make a move and offer on it? Or are we going to have to wait a little bit closer towards that lease being up? A lot of times what will happen is they'll have to wait, and they just did not really know the process of how this whole thing works. We don't ask them that question though. You just went out and showed them 2 or 3 weekends in a row. They found an awesome house they love. You go to make an offer on it, and then they're like, well, we need the closing date to be 4 months from now. And then you just wasted a lot of time, frankly. So that's why, again, we just always have to ask that question. And of course, if they own a property, it's all about, do they need to sell before they buy? And that is going to come back to the mortgage part of it as well, because if they do need to sell before they buy, we need to make sure that the lender can look at everything, ensure that they're going to use a portion of that money from down payment, which is a lot of times they will do. Sometimes they don't need to sell. They already know, no, I'm not going to sell this house. I'm going to rent it out. It's going to be an investment property. But you just get more information about that. So again, you're 100% comfortable and confident when you start showing them properties.
I think another reason to get motivation, Mikey, is to remind them of that during the process. Let's say they get frustrated because they lose out on a few properties, or let's say they get, just getting tired of it because they keep missing out or it's been taking too long. Just remind them of their motivation. Well, it's just something like, well, yeah, man, I want to get you over there into those schools. I want to make sure we get you out of your house before your lease is up. I want to make sure your kids get a bigger backyard. I'm just trying to get you to where you want to be. So it's good to, once the buyer gets, maybe sometimes it's taking a little bit too long or they get a little frustrated with the process, to remind them of their motivation is good as well.
Good point, Jeff. That you will have those clients that maybe you've shown them 10 properties and you've submitted a couple of offers on them, but just not working out for whatever it might be, multiple offers, or who knows what that situation is. They will get frustrated, and even like they'll sometimes even want to take a break. Like they'll want to take a week off from looking at properties and things like that. And just knowing their motivation and just being able to kind of have that conversation with them, and not shoving it in their face, of course, but just kind of mentioning a little bit like, yeah, I'm trust me, I know it's been a rough go at it, but I'm still excited to get your kids into that school, whatever that might be. Just bringing it back to their motivation. Again, subconsciously, it will remind them that's the goal. That's the reason why we're doing it. And then moving into agent. So Jeff and I, we use one line and one line only every time. It's a simple line, and I'm going to repeat it for you guys, but it tells us anything and everything we want to know about the agent part of it. So at this point, we would say, I assume you reached out to me directly because you're not working with an agent currently. Is that correct? Now, they're either going to say yes or no, but basically it's off of if they pause or not whenever they say it. Or maybe they kind of stutter and like, no, I'm not working with an agent. Maybe they might immediately say, no, not working with an agent, something like that. But based off how they answer it, you can tell if you need to ask more questions. At first, what I would do, ask this additional question on top of it anyway. So you're going to immediately say, I assume you reached out to me directly because you're not working with an agent. Is that correct? No matter what they say, you ask them how many houses they've been inside of. So they say, no, I'm not working with an agent. Oh, okay, great. I definitely look forward to earning your business. Let me ask you, how many houses have you guys been inside of right as of yet? And then if they say they've been inside 3 houses, light bulb goes off. Oh, that's great. Well, was it like an open house you guys went to, or did you kind of just call off the sign? Like, how'd you guys get into that? And again, it's not me being intrusive or anything like that, because your tone is going to be everything whenever you have this conversation. You're just simply asking, and they're going to give you that answer. Like, yeah, we drove by a couple of properties and we liked how it looks, so we just kind of called the sign. And again, it would be then telling them the difference between a listing agent and then that buyer's agent, and the benefit of using, a specific buyer's agent for them, because they're going to be, of course, looking out for their best interests and have all of that in mind, rather than the listing agent who has already signed a contract with the seller to look out for their best interest. So you just kind of explain that a little bit more. What's going to happen is they'll understand that, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense. And then you roll right past onto mortgage. And that's
I want you guys to try to assume the business here as well as assume the business when you close. It's little things like, yeah, I'm not working with an agent. If you immediately follow it up with, great, I can't wait to earn your business, or I'd love to earn your business, or I look forward to the opportunity of earning your business, et cetera, et cetera. If they say, yeah, I assume you reached out to me because you're not working with an agent, is that correct? And they say, well, I am working with an agent. Oh, great. What's their name? And they could stutter and they could, oh, I think it's Mikey at EXP. Oh, that's great. Great agent. Quick question. Are they currently meeting your expectations? I'm just asking because you seem to be calling, me right now, or kind of just go into that as well. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, especially if it's someone at EXP. For me anyway, if they say, yeah, I'm working with Michael Bass at EXP, he's doing great. No, that's great. Michael's a phenomenal agent. I mean, I'm excited you get to work with him. Is there a reason you're calling me directly today? Something like that. But assume the business as well. As soon as they say, no, I'm not working with an agent, you have to follow with, great, I can't wait to earn your business, or I look forward to working with you. Just assume that you're their agent right then. And this is
Absolutely.
a specific reason, right, Mikey? We
Yeah.
don't ask if you're working with an agent until, 2 or 3 minutes into the conversation.
Yep.
Most
That's why
agents,
you do this. And then you assume that business. And then at the end, whenever you're closing, you're kind of summarizing everything. You kind of get excited, like, man, I'm super excited to get you in that house so your kids can go to that school or whatever that might be. And again, that's just assuming their business. And that again will subconsciously make them think, well, Michael's my agent. Like it works. There's a reason why this script works. And that's the reason. You just have to put those
and
little subconscious
every
cues in
time,
there. You know,
you're calling them, sorry, Mike, every time you're calling them after your initial conversation, assuming the business as well is pretty easy. Just say, hey, Michael, just giving you a call back. It's your realtor, Jeff, right?
yeah,
Stuff like that. Or, hey, I just saw your email. Hey, it's your realtor, Jeff. Just saw your email. Or, hey, it's your realtor, Jeff. Look forward to showing you properties today. Just assume it, they're your realtor. And after they've, you've already said stuff like, I can't wait to earn your business. I look forward to working with you. And then you call them back and say, it's your realtor, Jeff. They're going to get in the right mindset, the mindset you want them to be in. So that's little things you can do as well.
absolutely. No, good stuff on that, Jeff. Um, that's pretty much it on the agent side of it. And then, of course, we would go into the mortgage, which we're not going to go into the mortgage today. We're just going to do the motivation, the agent, and then put all that together. The mortgage, again, like I was telling, just side note here, we're probably going to spend all day on, well, not all day, but the whole time on Tuesday and next week just speaking about mortgage because there's just so much to go into it. But anyway, yeah, Jeff, how about we do a couple of scenarios here?
Yeah, let's just say we already talked about price. You already kind of you locked in my price, and then let's go to one of the most important steps, which is the motivation. Getting my motivation. Why am I buying, et cetera, et cetera. Or if you want to start from 1 and go to 4, you can do that as well.
No, we'll just do 3 and 4. Like I'll just assume I already have that info, and then again here in about 5-10 minutes after we do this a few times, we'll do a whole nother script again, like from 1 to 7 again, and then we'll open it up for questions, just so we'll have multiple ones in there. So awesome, Jeff. Well, yeah, that $400,000 price point there is going to fit you really nice. Well, tell me a little bit about the move. What's bringing you guys over to Pearland?
Oh yeah, I got transferred over there. I gotta start. I think we're starting my new job in August.
Oh, that's awesome, man. What kind of job do you do? Where'd you get transferred from?
Oh yeah, I got transferred from car sales. I'm working at Audi selling cars, and I got transferred down there.
That's awesome. Okay, no worries at all. Congratulations on the transfer too, man. We're definitely look forward to getting you down there.
Yeah.
Are you currently in a rent or do you own right now?
We own, but I don't know if I need to sell before I buy. I'm just trying to get down there and then figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes complete sense. So I'm assuming you have not spoken to a lender yet regarding that, just to see if you need to sell that house first before buying the next one.
No, not yet.
Okay, great. Well, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about that side of it. We need to go ahead and definitely check that out. That's really the first step in the whole home buying process is speaking with a lender just to make sure that, we either have to sell or we don't have to sell. The reason behind that, of course, if we do need to sell, we just need to go ahead and get your house really pre-marketed. We need to get it photo ready and then get those photos taken, get the 3D Matterport taken, all that stuff to get it ready to sell. And that way you won't have any issues at all whenever, we start showing you properties down here in Pearland. A lot of owners right now, they won't really accept an offer that's contingent upon another sale if you don't at least have that house in the market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect, man. And I'm going to stop right there. So what I would have done at that point, as well as I would have went into a little bit more on the listing side of it, set an appointment and then continued back. But we're not going to get into that right now. That's
even if it throws you off and you have to, pitch a listing, when you go back to the script, go right back to number 4, and you have to finish it out 5, 6, 7.
Yep. So
let's do that motivation again. This time I'm going to rent, and then we'll go into agent.
okay, perfect. You want me to go into agent right after, or are we going to stop after motivation and then put them together?
Motivation to agent.
All right, here we go. Awesome, Jeff. Yeah, we got that $250,000. Sounds like, you have that price well thought out on the mortgage calculator. Tell me a little bit about the move to Katy. What's bringing you guys over there?
Oh yeah, we're transferring jobs. I got a new job at Audi.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations, man. Yeah, I've actually been to that dealership. It's fantastic over there. Are you
Yeah.
guys currently renting or do you own your house?
We're in the lease.
Ah, nice. Awesome. When's that lease up?
October.
In October. Okay, great. Well, yeah, we're definitely getting pretty close to October. So let me ask you this: if we found you something right now that you guys absolutely love, would you be willing and able to make a move on that?
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, I assume you reached out to me directly because you're not working with an agent currently. Is that correct?
No, I'm not working with an agent
Perfect,
just
man.
yet.
I definitely look forward to earning your business and helping you guys into Katy so you can start this new job.
Okay, great.
And
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, and then let's do it if I had an agent.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So Jeff, what's bringing you guys over to Katy?
Oh yeah, I just got a new job at Audi.
Oh, congratulations, man. That's fantastic. Were you at a different Audi dealership and you're just transferring, or is it just a brand new job?
Yeah, we're coming from Dallas.
Oh, that's really really cool, man. So, well, I guess are you currently renting your house over there, or do you own?
We're in a lease. I think it's up in October.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, and if we found you something perfect right now, you'd be able and willing to go ahead and make an offer on that, and no issues with that rental.
Yeah, for sure. If the house is right, yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Now, I assume you reached out to me directly because you're not working with an agent currently. Is that correct?
I mean, we've been talking to an agent. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Who is that agent, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it's Amanda. I don't know her last name. We've been
Yeah.
talking a few times.
No, no worries at all. And just so I can know, has she been meeting kind of all your expectations as far as a real estate agent? You know, sending you guys properties, doing some virtual tours with you guys, really working hard for you.
We haven't done any virtual tours, but so far so good.
Perfect, perfect. Hey, the reason I'm asking that, of course, I mean, I definitely love to earn your business and show you why I'm one of the top agents here in Houston. We do actually do those virtual tours for you as well. That way, whenever you guys get down here from Dallas, we're not really wasting any time. Do you think I have the opportunity of earning your business if I can show you just that proven track record I have for negotiating the best price for my clients, as well as all the other attributes I bring?
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Awesome, man. I definitely look forward to it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I definitely look forward to earning your business, or I look forward to the opportunity of earning your business. I just wanted to make sure that was a possibility. Something like that would go right there.
Yeah.
Definitely, the script. It's not. Hey, this is Jeff. How much is this house? Oh, it's $350. Hey, just real quick. Are you working with an agent? That is trash, 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 and majority of agents do that. So it is location, price. Why are they moving? And I'm assuming you reached out because you're not working with an agent. Is that correct? No, I'm not working with an agent. Great. I look forward to earning your business. Or I am working with an agent. Oh, what's your agent's name? Quick question. Are they currently meeting your expectations? Blah, blah, blah. Chances are, if they're reaching out directly to you, that agent didn't answer the phone. So it's maybe a good time to try to get that business. But again, if they seem happy and they say it's a Michael Bass at eXp Realty, or if it's who you win at eXp Realty, and you know the agent or something, I would chalk that agent up and say, yeah, it's a great agent. Exciting for you to work with him. Is there a reason you're calling me directly right now? And they may always not answer or something, and maybe help that agent out. Hey, text Michael. Hey man, your client reached out today about my property in West Main. Just let me know. But that's what I would do. Obviously, if they're working with another agent at a different brokerage, it's the same thing. Quick question: are they currently meeting your expectations? I just want to ensure that I have a possibility of earning your business. Just be upfront with them. So that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just touching on what Jeff said, guys, whenever he said, location, price, motivation, and a lot of agents are like just answering questions. They're not having a conversation. I don't know if you've picked up on it or not, but my tone and everything talking to Jeff is exactly the tone that I would use when talking to a potential client. It doesn't really change much. It might change on the excitement or not excitement because you're always supposed to kind of mirror and match the tone and attitude of your client to make them feel comfortable. But just how I sound conversational, that should happen the entire time. So you should always, oh, that's fantastic. You got a job at Audi. That's awesome. And just kind of throw stuff in there because you want to mesh with them. They're hiring you really based off if you guys mesh or not. That's going to be the sole reason they they hire you at first. Of course, you need to be knowledgeable about the market, all of that stuff as well. And you can show that and prove that. But the very first, having conversations with them and everything like that, you're just going to have to try your best to mesh with them and put those subconscious cues in there, like earning their business, excited to get them in that area because of the schools or this or that. Definitely look forward to finding you this house for you and being your agent, whatever that might be. You just have to, use that throughout the time. So,
sure, just get excited. I mean, if someone is excited and they're, let's not call it loud, but they're confident in what they're saying and whatever, you can be on stage and not know what the hell you're talking about and have the audience just riled up because you're simply just excited to be there, and you're talking and you're being confident and things like that. You're answering questions directly. There's no hesitation on any objections and things like that. Again, you can make someone believe in you, whether you're a brand new agent or not. If it sounds like you know what you're talking about and you're excited to talk about it, people are attracted to that. I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen Brent Gove do any presentation ever, but he's just fired up every time. And I mean, you're just excited to be there. He could be talking about his grass growing in the backyard and he would get you excited about it. So it's just good to do that. And then obviously if it's an older client and things like that, just kind of slow it down or stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, mirror match always good, but also be excited and positive and knowledgeable and just, really don't have any hesitations or hiccups. And here's the thing, you will. You're going to talk to someone, they're going to catch you off guard. You may hesitate or something like that. It doesn't matter. Those are the experiences you need to go through in order to, get scripted, basically.
And I know we're not all new agents in here, but I'll say this: whenever I was a newer agent, probably for the first year or so, maybe a little bit longer, I was just so worried about saying the wrong thing and not knowing everything about the property. I was always worried about them asking me a question and not knowing it. And then because of me not knowing it, they would think that I'm not knowledgeable. Now, knowing what I do know now, that's just not the case at all. Like, I mean, if we go on to show 5 properties, you're not going to know every single thing about that property. And people don't care if they ask you a question and you say, oh, that's a great question. I'll definitely find out for you. I'll find out for you and get right back to you. No problem at all. Like that's not an issue.
I always use the line, especially even if I'm not driving. Let's just say I'm sitting here watching golf and someone calls me about my property I just listed. It's so easy. Well, how many bedrooms and square footage and blah, blah, blah. And you don't know off the top of your head. Instead of you saying, I don't know, let me check on that. It's simple. Just say, I'm actually driving right now. Is this your cell phone number? Oh, it is. Okay. I'm going to send you a link to that property so you can get all the information. But anyway, that property's in Upper Kirby. Is that the only area you're looking to buy in? And just go right back to it, get to the price, whatever. But I always use that. And it's so funny, my brother or my wife will look at me like, oh yeah, you're driving. But sometimes you're just not, you're not prepared, or your mind's somewhere else or something. You don't want to seem like you don't know. Just boom, I'm actually driving right now. Is this your cell phone number? I'll text you that information. But I know that property's in Upper Kirby. Is that the only area you're looking to purchase? Like, just go right back to it and just without hesitation. And the more you make calls, the better you're going to get at it. But that's something I do as well.
Absolutely. So what do you think, Jeff? You want to roll through another one, like a full script again, and then open it up for questions, or do you want to just go into questions?
Let's go to what time we got here? 2:26. Yeah, let's just go to 1 to 4.
Okay.
1 to 4, and then we'll open up for questions, and then make it easy on you, so we can get the flow of the conversation.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff. Michael Bass here, Cityside Properties. How are you?
Good.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, you had actually inquired in about the property there at 123 Main Street. Just wanted to check and see what all questions you had about it.
Oh, yeah, man. How much is that property?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let me pull that up really quick. Hey, while I pull that up, I do notice that that's in the Pearland area. Is that the specific area you're looking to purchase within?
Yeah, Pearland, anywhere south, really. We just need to be close to 288.
Gotcha. Okay. So pretty close to 288. That's good to know. And hey, I do have that pulled up right now. It's listed at $350,000. Is that about the price you're looking to purchase within? Yeah,
that should be fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And then, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you come up with that specific price?
That's probably the amount that we paid for our house we're in now.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Perfect. So you guys currently own right now as well?
Yes.
Cool, man. Do you know if you're going to have to sell that one before you purchase this next one?
Probably.
Probably so. Okay, yeah, no worries at all. We can definitely figure that out here in a bit. Well, tell me what's bringing you guys over to Pearland, and where you guys coming from?
Oh, we just got a new job. We're coming from Dallas.
Oh, that's awesome, man! Congratulations. Where are you gonna be working at?
I'll be working at the new Audi dealership down there.
Oh man, I've driven by that so much. It's a really nice Audi dealership. I'm sure you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
Um,
we're excited.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. You guys have any kids or anything? Is it just gonna be you two?
That's me and the wife, and then we have two girls,
Oh, that's awesome. How old are your girls?
6 and 4.
Man, I bet they're a handful.
Yeah, you ain't lying, brother.
Well, awesome, man. Well, hey, I assume you reached out to me directly because you're not working with an agent currently. Is that correct?
No, we're not working with anybody right now.
Perfect. I definitely look forward to helping you and your family get down here in Pearland, man. So I'll tell you what, and then I'm going to stop right there.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty easy. Yeah, what we'd go from there is with the agent, again, assume the business. And then right before you go into mortgage, you're going to talk about his property he needs to sell in Dallas and explain, just like Michael said earlier, it's really the first step. I don't want you to get down here and I show you a few properties and you fall in love with one. And then the only reason, we didn't get it was because you're really not prepared to pull the trigger yet because your property's on the market yet there in Dallas. So I just don't want to waste your time or get your hopes up on a house. So let's talk about that Dallas property. Have you spoken to an agent there to help you sell that property? And they'll say yes or no. And then obviously you try to do the referral. I tried to find the best agent there. If that agent so happens to be EXP, that would be great. But to be honest, really the best agent, I don't really care if they're EXP. I would like them to be EXP, but I want that person to have a phenomenal relationship with that agent. So obviously we're going to try, I'll go straight to the Icon group at EXP and I'll check on the Dallas realtors and go from there. But yeah, try to get that referral and then go into the mortgage.
perfect. Well, let's go ahead and open it up for questions. Any questions over what we just did, or any questions over issues that you guys have had in the past, talking with clients you didn't know how to kind of overcome that objection? Anything that you guys have thought about? It could be sellers as well. So if you guys have any seller questions,
we're doing buyers, but yeah, seller objections, buyer objections, really anything that you guys are used to hearing and you can't really overcome, just throw it at us, see what we can do.
Hey Jeff, how are you?
Doing good, man. What's up?
Hey, I've got a question for you and Michael. We quite a few new agent. We have a lot of objection. The seller, they are pressing us about like, hey, how many houses you sold? Experience. Could you guys talk a little bit about how new agent can overcome those objection when the seller or the buyer really reel you on the experience?
Yeah. So what you want to do is you're going to want to borrow somebody else's value. So you sold last year 50 plus homes. You Icon, you earn your entire cap back. So if I was one of your new agents, I would say that I'm working with we sell over 50 homes a year, and use third party validation, I call it, because you're not really misleading the buyer. I mean, because chances are if they're in your group and you're the mentor, you're going to be involved in their first transactions anyway. So I would definitely use some third party validation things there. And also another tip would be if you are a newer agent and then you're working with we sell 50 homes a year, but I'm actually looking to take on some business. Personally, I don't have 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 closed listings. I just have a few. So I want to focus my time on getting those. So you can say something like, actually, I pride myself in only taking on 2 to 3 clients at a time. And then hopefully you'll be my, my first or second listing. So I can really focus my time on your listing and get it sold, as opposed to, just throw it into the mix with another 50, 60 listings. So that would be a benefit I think a seller would like to hear. Right, Mikey?
Yeah, no, a lot of times they really don't care about your numbers. Like that's what I've realized going to quite a few listing presentations. They really don't care about the numbers specifically, while there will be some people that specifically want to see that and they want that. So you always need to be prepared with that to show them. Most of them don't care as long as you are knowledgeable about the area, what's sold in the area, what's currently active in their competition in the area, average list price to sales price ratio in the area, average days on market in the area. So if you have all of that information with you that you're going to be able to go over, they probably won't even ask about your number of sales. You will get that every now and then, but so have that prepared. And if it's a new agent, I would recommend, just like Jeff said, pulling up like their mentor or their sponsors numbers, or let's just say that, you know, there's not a whole lot of that. Just pull up EXP's numbers in general. We're a giant team here. We you know, we want everyone to succeed. So realistically, you can say, yeah, myself and my team have sold this many, and you can look at it as EXP.
Yeah, we have thousands of listings, generating thousands of buyer leads all over Houston. We'll definitely tap into the technology that EXP offers to find you a buyer, and just kind of go on. Don't really harp on it, especially if you're new. Just move on to the next point of your presentation.
Yeah, that's true. Don't overtalk it. You can definitely overtalk yourself out of a sell. So especially with sellers, it's harder to do that with buyers, but with sellers, you can overtalk for sure. But
Does that
good
help?
question, Hui.
Does that help, Hui?
What's up?
I said, does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then there's some, make sure to look at into Basecamp. If you're not in Basecamp, send me a chat right here. There is about 12 seller objections and in Basecamp that are handled by Sean Kokoska and how he responds to them. Just study those. There hasn't, I mean, he's pretty brilliant on there. So there's nothing that really I've asked Sean that he didn't have immediate response to. So definitely take a look at all his scripts that we have in Basecamp as well. Any other questions or buyer objections? Or is everybody just out there killing it, no hesitations, got 50 listings?
We'll say this too. It doesn't even have to be a script question. If you guys have questions about like even a transaction that you're struggling on right now and you're not really sure how to handle it, or if you're handling it properly, any of that stuff is okay for this kind of Q&A as well. So if it's not,
I got a question.
Okay, what's up?
I got a lead I've been nurturing for months, and you know, got her pre-approved, and we went and started looking. First time home buyer, but she was obsessed with having a pool, yet she doesn't want to pay. You know, she's pre-approved for $325, but she doesn't really want to pay more than $200, but she wants a pool. So after showing her some and kind of proving the point that that doesn't work, you know, she put in an offer at 205. There was multiple offers, and I told her, you know, we have to bump up to compete if you want it. And she says, yeah, let's bump it up by 1,000. And I'm like, well, ma'am, that's not going to cut it, you know. And of course we lost. And then she became all heartbroken and says she doesn't want to continue. And I told her, well, you know, I mean, I understand you don't want to continue, but it's like, she didn't listen to me. I don't know what to
Yeah. So
say.
right there, I would, you gotta hone in and get their motivation. Why the heck are they wanting a house with a pool? What was their time frame? What was their motivation essentially from the get-go, and why they want to buy a house? And you can have an upfront conversation with her. One, reminder of motivation. Two, sorry, there's some back thing. Two, you know, again, remind them of why they started, but also have a frank conversation with them. It looks like we've seen, let's say she's in Pearland, right? Looks like there's 15 properties in Pearland that have a pool in your price range. We've crossed off, you know, 10. We've looked at 5. There isn't any more properties with a pool for 200. We want to see what 250 gets you. You know, want to see what 275 gets you, or maybe in Pearland, maybe we'll move down to Alvin and see if we can get you something in Alvin, something like that. But one,
yeah, it wasn't long after she failed on that contract. I had that talk with her that realistically, you know, it's not gonna jive. And then she said, okay. And then the next day, which was this morning, is when she's like, oh, I quit, you know.
What's the reason for her move, Debbie?
Yeah.
She wants to stop paying rent. She lives in Sugar Land. She's an attorney, and she wants to stop paying the rent. And you know, that's really her primary motivation. She don't want to pay the rent anymore.
The 2.875 interest rates right now, and the fact that she's right now she's paying 100% interest on her current rent. You know, reminder of that. And if she's an attorney, she's probably pretty analytical. Sorry. Kind of.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just saying, reminder of the current interest rates, how they're low, really historically low, and say things like, Right now, I mean, I think we locked in a low 3 interest rate, and you're actually paying 100% interest rate on your rental. I mean, I just hate to see someone that's well qualified for a house waste money on a rental. So let's see what maybe 250 gets you in Pearland, because right now we've already looked at all the properties, closer to 2 with pools.
And piggybacking off of what Jeff just said too, Debbie, what you can do is go ahead and get with the lender, and let's just say work up the numbers at the interest rate she's going to get an extra $50,000. It's going to be X amount of dollar increase. Then send her over those additional properties and say, hey, these are some additional properties for you. I know it's a little bit higher than what you're wanting to pay. It would equal about this much more increase in the price of, and whatever that might be, $250, $300, something like that. And then if they see a nicer property, a lot of times they'll kind of start justifying it in their head. And they're just like, okay, well, it's not that much more, especially, if you're approved for whatever. Those are just different ways that you can try to go about it. But you mainly have to remind her and tell her that until she does purchase a house, she's going to be throwing away money. Ask her, and next time you talk to her, ask her how long she's been renting. She's been renting for 10 or 15 years. Then ask her about how much money she probably has given away to other people, paying off their mortgage for an apartment or whatever that might be, and how that would feel, paying her own house and own investment off, because that's essentially what she's doing, and that's her motivation. And then that hopefully will get her reeled back in.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't make a unmotivated buyer or seller motivated. So maybe let that sting a little bit, how they lost out, give her a few days, and then have another conversation with her. But
okay, because I was going to ask that next. This morning when I got her message, I didn't push back at all. I was just like, that's fine. I totally get it. She was like, oh, the world is so uncertain and I'm uneasy. And I just quit. And I was like, okay, no problem. I'll check in periodically. Exactly. So do I wait like a day or two before I have this new conversation, or just do it again today?
No, I'd give her a few days. It looks like she got burnt out on it. I don't know what lease situation she's in, if she's month to month or her lease is going to expire soon. Maybe a reminder of that.
It expires next month. Yeah. August, like middle of August. So
most likely she's going to go month to month at a higher rate unless she signs a year money. So I'd give her a few days, maybe Friday, just follow up.
Follow up with that information from the lender though. How much?
Okay.
And that'll give you some ammo as well.
Okay. Yeah, I will. He's actually really helpful. Yes. Thank you.
Perfect. Jace, I thought I saw you unmute your mic. I'm not sure if you had a question or not.
No, I mean, I pretty much got it, but just curious. I've had quite a few conversations that went really great, and we've talked about this before, but where you feel confident about it, is that all right if I have my lender reach out? What works for you? And then next thing you know, the lender reaches out, goes, and you continue to reach out. And, the only thing that I can think of is by reiterating their motivation of why they're wanting to move. But maybe do you have something that, might be good as far as a follow-up for someone who's ghosted the pre-approval process?
If it goes to the pre-approval process, they're not ready to buy. But, you can, I don't know, Mikey, if someone's not willing to talk to my lender or they won't give me their lender qualification, that's a red flag. I'm next to them for me.
Right. Yeah. It all depends on how the original conversation went, Jace, because I know we've spoken about this pretty in detail about it. Because if that conversation went really, really well, like you had a great conversation, especially if you've had more than one, and then there's just some reason why they won't get pre-approved, they're definitely not ready to get approved, whether it be credit issues, maybe not the right amount of money, something like that. And again, I use this analogy. Think about whenever you wanted that new car, right? And you want that new performance Model X Tesla that's like $150,000 and you're never going to get it. For some people, like you would never get it, but you reach out to a dealership, mind you, I know Tesla's different, but you reach out to a dealership and then that dealership starts calling you. Well, you're not going to really ever buy that. And so that's kind of what people do with houses as well. They get really excited. Then they really start looking at the numbers. Then they get freaked out about it. And then they just don't even want to let you down. So they'll stop having a conversation.
We all know. So, yeah, I would follow up with them, but next them. Don't ever be afraid to go to the next client because, Mikey, we all know what is more important than our current client, right?
Yeah, it's the next client.
Next client. So don't be scared to put them on, not the back burner. I mean, follow up with them and things like that, but the conversation went well, but once, it came to showtime on their end, they didn't do it. So could be multiple things. Maybe you can send them things of value. Like they said, they wanted 200,000 in New Caney. Send them a few open houses in 200,000 in New Caney. No pressure. Hey, just thought of y'all when I saw these. Maybe go check them out. Something like that. But don't be next to them.
There's two messages that I usually send whenever and I'll say this over the phone as well. So the first one is, hey, I definitely don't want to bother you unnecessarily. Just want to check and see that you're still in the market. So definitely don't want to bother you unnecessarily is the main point of that message. I've gotten a lot of responses off of that by people saying, hey, I'm so sorry. I've just been so busy. No, you're not bothering me. So that works. And then that one, oh man, I just drew a blank. Bother you unnecessarily. What's the next one? There's always two.
I mean, that's a good one there. You can just say, make sure
sorry.
Anything, something like that,
The other one is, please don't take my persistence as pressure. Yeah. I just want to make sure that I'm continuously checking in with you because you are interested in the market. Has anything changed or something like that? And again, they'll seriously reach out to you when they haven't in months, weeks or something. They'll say, hey, you're not putting any pressure on me at all. It was just this, or this is what happened, or something like that. It doesn't always work, but those are two that have really worked for me in that. So, and I have a lot of success stories with showing clients and then them quote unquote ghosting me. I never stop checking in with them. And seriously, I have multiple text threads that I could show you guys. 2-3 months go by without them ever responding to me. And because I just continue to check in with them because I've had such a good rapport, they reached back out to me and ended up purchasing houses with me. Like I'm talking about over probably $2 to $3 million worth of production. That happened just for me staying diligent and continuing to check in with people that most people would have probably thrown away. So just keep that in mind. I usually, if I show somebody and I had a great conversation, great meeting with them, especially if I showed them more than twice, I don't throw those people away until they tell me to stop reaching out. And it's gotten me a lot of business.
And I'm opposite. It's funny.
And Jeff is opposite. He is 100% opposite, but it's gotten me so much business for sure.
We all attract a different type of buyer and seller. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it all starts just like what we've been doing. It all starts with proper scripts with buyers and sellers. You're never going to get to the point where you're even showing them properly unless you focus on your script. So we're going to save this recording, put it on the YouTube channel, and then also another script practice Tuesday next week, and then maybe we'll follow that up Wednesday with the seller, just straight seller objections. We'll go through the 12 types of objections with Sean Kokoska, something like that. But that's it for today, unless anybody has something that VIP they need to talk with. If not, I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
All right. Sounds great.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Wee.
Thanks, Wee. No worries. See you guys later.
Team.